You ever hear a noise so loud and out of place it just stops your whole world? That was me, tie still half straight. Briefcase in hand, coffee burning my palm when this thunderous metal crash rattled my entire house. I thought a truck had missed the street and gone straight through my garage. But when I opened the door, squinting through the dust and that damn motion light, what I saw just about fried my brain. Dead center in my driveway, mind you, sat a rusty industrial-sized dumpster dropped there like some sort of alien artifact. And half jammed inside, bumper still sticking out, was Karen's white Mercedes SUV, the one with the HRH Karen license plate like she's royalty around here. For a second, I honestly thought I was hallucinating. Nope. Reality was right there, loud and proud, and if I thought things couldn't get weirder, well, Karen's heels started click-clacking up my walk like she was about to unveil a masterpiece. She stopped right at the edge of my lawn, gave me that plastic smile and said 5 words that just about made me choke on my coffee. Welcome to Community Cleanup Week. You ever get that feeling you're the punchline of a joke you never asked to be part of? Yeah, that happened. My car was blocked in by a dumpster that probably weighed more than my house, full of Karen's broken furniture, moldy couch cushions, and God knows what else she'd been hoarding. I asked her whose idea was this. She waves her clipboard, says it's all part of her beautification plan approved by the HOA president. Only problem is, we didn't have a president, last one moved out months ago. Karen, with a straight face, tells me she's temporarily assumed the position. Sips her giant iced coffee like it's no big deal, like she hasn't just hijacked my entire day. So here I am already late for a meeting that could save my company, and I'm playing phone tag with the city. Finally get a hold of some poor soul in sanitation who tells me not only is there no legal permit for that dumpster, but it was rented under my name. My blood went ice cold. I hadn't called, any company hadn't signed anything. But this guy emails me a scan of the rental form, and sure enough, there's my signature, except it looks like someone tried to draw it with their left foot. Karen had forged my name, rented a dumpster, and parked her mess in my driveway like she owned the block. I step outside, phone shaking in my hand, and there she is directing 2 teenagers with gloves to toss more junk into the bin. I tell her I know what she did, that the city's involved now, and she just grins and tells me to bring it up at the next board meeting, then drops a pile of blinds into the dumpster with a crash and turns away like she's the star of her own movie. I missed my meeting. My business partner called me, worried about leadership consistency. 3 hours of calls later, I learned dumpster disputes don't exactly light a fire under City Hall. My neighbors are poking their heads out, snapping photos, and shaking their heads like they've seen this show before. Turns out Karen's a repeat offender. She's threatened fines for garden gnomes, Halloween inflatables, even tried to get a neighbor's dog banned. But this was new. This was Karen on a power trip with no brakes. So I call Tanya, my old friend from college, who's a real estate lawyer. She tells me to document everything, pictures, videos, get a copy of the HOA charter. Then she finds out Karen's not even legally in charge. With a forged signature and illegal rental, this could be fraud, maybe criminal. Tanya tells me not to touch a thing, just watch record and let Karen dig her own grave. That evening, the dumpster's still there. Karen's SUV sticking out like a shipwreck, and she's back outside in yoga gear asking if I can keep it there a few more days. I nearly lose it. I tell her I ought to charge rent. She tells me to run it by the board herself, apparently. I turn on my sprinklers as she's stepping off my lawn, and she shrieks about water-based assault. I laughed so hard I nearly pulled something. But inside I was just about at my wit's end. Late that night, after Karen finally retreats, I walk over to check the SUV and see something dangling from the mirror, a lanyard with an official HOA access badge. Only board members get those, and she wasn't one. Bet you anything she snatched it from the last president before he left. Suddenly, I'm wide awake, flipping through HOA bylaws, city codes, and old emails. And deep in the fine print, I find my silver bullet, a clause about emergency access and unpermitted obstructions. All I needed was proof, and I had it in spades. The next morning, Karen's off to whatever cult yoga class she goes to, and I start making calls quietly, legally by the book. If she wanted to dump on my property, I was going to return the favor in spades. By the time she got home, there was nothing new in her dumpster, no notes on my door. Just silence, the kind that feels like the universe is waiting for the other shoe to drop. I spent the day lining up every document, every time-stamped photo, every frame of video with Karen barking orders like she's running a boot camp. The city had already emailed me the rental form, my name misspelled, signature butchered. Tanya walked me through the next phase. Don't touch a thing. Let the officials handle it. People like Karen don't go quietly, she warned. Expect some fireworks. And sure enough, by evening, Karen's out prowling the neighborhood with a flashlight and clipboard, peering over fences, snapping photos of trash bins. I swear, if it wasn't so creepy, it would be hilarious. That's when Jay, my cousin, who runs a local towing company, steps in. He says if I get the right paperwork, he can tow the whole thing dumpster SUV, the works out of my driveway. All we need is a code violation from the city. The inspector shows up, sunglasses, clipboard, takes one look and mutters, "This shouldn't be here." Stamps a violation notice right on the dumpster. That night, Karen comes home to find a broken table lamp she tossed in the dumpster sitting neatly on her lawn with a note, "Property returned. Please keep your trash to yourself." She loses her mind. I toast her meltdown with a cold soda from the porch, savoring every second. Jay sets the tow for dawn, quiet, precise, unstoppable. I check my cameras, make sure every angle is covered. At 5 a.m., Jay rolls up, clamps the SUV, chains the dumpster, and hauls the whole mess down the street. The sound of metal scraping asphalt was pure music. Somewhere in the distance, I hoped Karen was watching better, yet I hoped the whole block was. And then the aftermath. Karen storms out at sunrise, sees the empty driveway, and just about combusts on the spot. 4 minutes later, she's pounding on my door, shrieking about grand theft auto and dumpster abduction. I hand her the city notice and the signed tow authorization. She claims her cat Muffin was inside the car. I know there was no cat. Cops show up, animal control checks, no cat. Karen just digging deeper, making things worse for herself. Within hours, the city impound emails me Karen's paid $900 in fees, but her SUV's on hold while they document the damage. She threatens lawsuits against me, the city, the tow company, even the HOA, ironically, the very board she claimed to lead. Tanya finds out Karen's done this before forged signatures on city permits, filed fake complaints. Now she's under formal investigation. The old HOA president comes forward, confirms Karen stole his badge, bluffed her authority with it. I forward it all to the oversight committee. That night, Karen stands at the edge of her driveway, staring at the wreck of her car like a dethroned queen surveying a lost kingdom. Word spreads. Neighbors who once hid now talk openly about Karen's antics. Someone starts a petition to kick her out of the HOA for good. Stories pour out, threatened for wind chimes, book clubs, trampoline access. In days, half the neighborhood signed up for her removal. Karen sends one last cease and desist letter to every house full of typos, fake legal threats. She tries to silence everyone, but nobody's scared anymore. At the next HOA meeting, she shows up, uninvited rants about injustice waves, forged emails, and gets formally suspended on the spot. The oversight board announces Karen is permanently barred from the HOA. It's like the block's been freed from a spell. We throw a block party. People hand me a coffee mug that says neighborhood cleanup crew with a little dumpster towing a car. Karen's blinds stay shut. She's exiled by her own mess. But the final twist, city charges her with misdemeanor fraud for the forged rental, puts it on her record, and fines her. I get a thank you note from the new HOA board inviting me to join the committee. At first I hesitate, but I realize if people like me don't step up, someone like Karen will just keep coming back. So I join, not for the power, but because somebody's got to keep the rules honest. A few months later, Karen moves out, disappears, and the air is lighter. The asphalt still scratched, but the street is ours again. Every time I take out my trash now, I can't help but grin. Not because the battle's over, but because I know exactly what to do if it ever starts again, and next time the tow truck's on speed dial. So now you tell me, where's the line between neighborly patience and standing your ground? Where does justice end and pettiness begin? Was I right to fight? Or should I have let it go? Let me know what you'd do if a Karen showed up in your driveway, because trust me, there's always another one waiting to drop a dumpster when you least expect it.